Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike, the creator of the 1NELife podcast, believes most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike wants you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The 1NELife podcast, it inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the 1NELife podcast to your playlist. That's the number 1NELife. Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and your favorite podcast platform.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the 1NELife podcast. I am Mike M.C. Reed, where we talk about positive psychology and take care of our well-being and telling your story because everyone has an amazing story. What is up? I am here with my boy, Mr. Trenton Washington. How's it going today, sir?
It's going good, man. Good to be here. Glad to be here.
Got a day off today?
Yes, I enjoy it.
Well-deserved day off. Like, we need that. You know, what we do, dealing with these kids and the behaviors, like, wow. Like, any little, even when we get off early, it's like, time to reset, time to recharge.
Oh, yeah.
So having a full day today was so great.
Like, finally, your brain get a break.
I dropped my girl off at work, kicked her out the truck. I was like, bye, get out. She was like, what you about to go home and do? I was like, go back to sleep. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. I'm
chilling today. So, yeah.
Man, I wish my day was like that. Like I told you earlier, I was cleaning. Doing all kinds of stuff.
But you know what? Sometimes cleaning to me is meditation.
Oh, for sure.
Because I don't know if you ever like really meditated, but I started meditating and practicing Zen like, so I want to say 7 years ago. So when I found meditation, meditation is not just sitting there, you know, quietly in a room, blah, blah. People don't realize that. You know, working out is meditation. Going for a run, listening to music, you know, in a sit quiet, nice space. Cleaning is meditation. Water. I used to water my grass. I don't have grass no more in my lawn no more because it just costs too much to keep grass out here green. Yeah. I don't know if you ever know that, but
no, I didn't know that.
To keep grass in this hot desert green, you have to water your lawn morning and night, so twice a day.
That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because I was telling my wife, I was like, nobody has a yard out here like that.
Oh no, yeah, because it's because the water prices, like you literally have to keep your lawn wet and dry because it gets so hot out here during the summertime. Yeah. And so it's a hassle, man. I did it when I first bought my house out here for maybe, I want to say a good 9 months. And then I was like, yeah, no more.
See, back home it's different. It's a lot of land. Everybody got yards, you know, so.
I would love to. Like, I love green grass, but.
Because I be seeing like some nice houses and I be like, man, but they don't have a yard. No. And that's like a thing for me. Because like my mom and dad's house, like they have yards.
Right.
So it's like, if I get a house, I want a yard. Yeah. Like I want my kids to have an area to play in. Right. You know, stuff like that. So.
No, and mind you, I have a big front yard and I have a big backyard. So whenever I buy a house, like I'm on my second house now. I don't like the new houses that they build where you get no property at all. So I'm always buying older homes with land. Yeah. Because I want something in the backyard, like you said, like, you know.
Yeah, I was telling my mother-in-law that. I was like, yeah, what I don't like about it, kind of out here, it's like you buy this house for this price, and like no yard, no nothing. It's just pretty much just house and sidewalk. Right. And I'm like, man, I can't.
Or you can just go out your window and hand your neighbor a Coke, like here. No, that's crazy. That's not a house to me. Yeah, you might as well be in an apartment.
Pretty much, like a townhouse. It's like a townhouse.
It is. Yeah. But anyways, back to meditation. Cleaning to me is meditation. So people thought I was crazy when I think I did a show one time and I was like, I love folding laundry because that's meditation to me. Yeah. Like I fold everything. Socks, underwear, undershirts. Like I fold everything, except for the things that need to be hung. But that's just meditation to me. Yeah. I get into meditation is really just a rhythm thing. It's a rhythmatic thing. So if you could find anything to do and like have a nice little rhythm, that's meditation.
Yeah, I would say for me it is cleaning because when I start cleaning, I like put some music on and I'm just singing, cleaning,
Yep.
just and not just getting this little mode.
Yeah.
And then I know working out for sure. Like I'll go to the gym or I'll go hoop. That's like my woosah time.
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
Or praying. Like one of those things. That calms me down. You know, and sometimes I'll go sit on the front porch.
Where you play hoop at?
24-hour fitness.
Okay.
Okay. So that's where I met Carlos at.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, or I just go sit outside, like sit on a little porch and just be chilling.
Man, next time we have like a little barbecue at Cindy Mom's house, because we had her parents out a lot. Her dad used to be a basketball coach.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I don't know where. Don't ask me that. But he was because they're all educators. So he was a teacher, but he was also a basketball coach. Sure. But anyways, they got a nice full court basketball in their court in their backyard.
Oh yeah, I would love
Me and Sydney be out there. She be trying to ball, man.
Oh yeah.
She be looking fun. The crazy thing is she had this funny shot. But because her dad was a basketball coach, she has the form.
Yeah.
But it still looks funny.
Yeah.
But it goes in.
and that stuff be irritating me, especially when I'm at the gym and I see somebody that like, doesn't have a form or shoot weird, and those be the ones like if you lollygag in the game, those the ones that
So I brought that up because the first time like we played basketball on that court, mind you, she grew up on that court. She beat me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how did that just happen?
And it be like that.
And she's just like, I'm good like that. I said, no, this is your court. You know your spots. You know where they hit it off the backboard, all this stuff. Like, this is your court. You grew up on it. So.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, it's cool. But now we be out there having fun sometime. But now next time we do something, I have to invite you over.
Okay, cool.
Because I love the hoop too.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get into who Trenton Washington is.
All right. Well,
what's your story, man?
Well, I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas, in the area called Pleasant Grove, Texas. Shout out to the Grove.
Right.
But I went to Skyline High School out there.
Okay.
Dallas Skyline, pretty big school. Really known for mainly football, but we played basketball. We had a nice little basketball team as well.
Right.
But yeah, I grew up in a faith-based home.
Okay.
2-parent household. I have 2 older sisters. I'm the baby.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I got 2 older sisters, man. So things were kind of different for me being the only male. Like when it came to my mom,
right,
she was like on me. Still to this day, she's on me.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it hasn't changed, but yeah, she's on me constantly because I was the only male, and she used to always tell me one day you gonna have your own family. So. This is why I'm,
Mom's is always right.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm seeing it's a lot of stuff that I didn't listen to. I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I should.
Isn't that crazy? Like, so my grandmother raised me because I didn't have my parents. I wasn't blessed enough to have parents. I had them, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
But my grandmother raised me, and it's crazy that when we're small, and that's why sometimes even the kids that we work with. I get that they don't listen. I expect that because that's how you learn, right? You have to go through failure to get to success. Because I did it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you did it. And our parents always told us things, and we didn't really pay attention to it. But now that we're older, it's like, damn, they did say that. Yeah, and then you be like, okay, that makes sense now.
I see what they were talking about.
And that's what I be trying to tell the kids. And it's like, how do you get them to understand what you're talking about, because we understand it now, but it took us all these years to understand it. Like, how do we close that gap now? And I think every generation has been trying to do that, right? Because I know older people used to tell me, all right, one day you're going to understand. It's like, But now I was like, okay, now I do. It makes sense now.
Yeah. And like I said, for some kids, unfortunately, they're going to have to bump their heads like pretty hard for them to get it. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of one of those kids.
Right.
I
was
had
too.
to, bump my head a few times 100%. To really get the point, go through the same situation over and over again. And it's like, okay, now I'm kind of seeing what's going on. Oh, yeah. But for some of those younger kids, it's like, I just try to, just practice patience.
Right.
Because like you said, it's gonna hit them like later. It's not gonna hit them right now. And it might, some it might hit right now, some is gonna hit later.
Right.
But for the most part, they're not gonna really get it until they're in it.
Right.
So.
No, and that makes sense, and that's why I really do use patience and try to have understanding, because I was that kid.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, I mean, you see me talking to these kids. Sometimes I'm just brutally honest with them. Like, okay, cool. You don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to get it right now.
Yeah.
But I am looking for the kids that want to do better, that want to learn. Yeah, I get that they're gonna still mess up, right?
Sure.
But it's just some kids, and you know it, that just don't listen.
Yeah. Need the tough love.
They don't. It's just constantly, day after day after day. It's the same thing, and they're not listening. All right. Those are the kids that need that tough love, and those are the kids like I always say, like I don't want to give up on a kid, but it's just like, okay, you like Nip said, gonna learn the hard way.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
You're gonna learn the hard way.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
Sure.
And you know what? And I'm at the point now where, and I had to learn this, and it took me to an adult to understand choices. Like I used to be the guy that always wanted to help people, right? I always put myself first. I mean, I'm sorry. I always put other people first before me. I never put myself first. It wasn't until a couple of years ago when I started to really put myself first. And I'll be like, cool, if that's the path you want to go down or that's the choice you want to make, that's your choice. Cool. And that's why nowadays I just tell kids, cool.
Yeah.
Like when we're trying to take them to the office, cool. You don't want to go, you don't got to go.
Yeah.
That's your choice. Just know the consequences that come with that.
Oh, for sure. And that's like, it's crazy that you was saying that because I was thinking about this like the other day. And I was thinking like how you said, like you would put people first. Me, it was kind of opposite. You know, and when I started to get older, I was like a little selfish. I'm not going to lie. You know, I would do things for me or, you know, in the process hurting somebody else's feelings because I'm only thinking about me and,
Right.
you know, trying to get what I get. But, like coming to that understanding that there's a good consequence and there's a bad consequence.
Right.
Like I told you before, I'm a Christian. So coming into that journey, it made me understand like why the Lord gives us free will.
Right.
Because that's where you also learn where there's a good consequence, there's a bad consequence. And some people get into that mix where it's like, okay, they make this choice, bad things happen, and then they blaming God. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, it's not my fault. You know, and then you may, but if you would have listened and done this, it would have went a totally different way. But that's what I'm learning with these kids. It's like everybody's a victim. Like that's what I'm picking up. And because like every time we ask them something, oh, it's the teacher's fault. Oh, it's not my fault. I didn't do anything.
Right.
You know? And it's like, it's crazy like how it's never anybody's fault. It's always, you know.
It's taking accountability.
Yeah, taking accountability, stuff like that. So when I see those things, it kind of took me back to childhood. I was like, like, where did that start for me?
Right.
You know, where did I start to pick up those habits? Why did I start to pick up those habits? So, like, being, like, student mentor is kind of making me reflect back and just look in the mirror like, hey, like, you know, okay, I've seen this before because I've done this before.
Right.
So, yeah, when I see those kids kind of, oh, it is not my fault. And I'm like, okay. So when we ask them the questions, like, okay, so what were you doing? You know, why did you do this? You know, like, and they kind of give you that that answer. They'll be like, they'll start to see like, okay, yeah, maybe I did do this, you know, whatever, and or maybe I left out this part of the story. But that's like where I had to learn because a lot of decisions that I was making, I was like, I'll say it like this. Like my body was there, but my thought process was catching up.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like for them, it's like, because for me, it was fun first, responsibility later.
Yeah.
That's what it became. You know, and of course, you young, whatever. But that was it for me. So when I'm seeing them, they're thinking, hey, yeah, I'm going to do this, suffer the consequences later. Not realizing that consequence is going to put a target on your back for wherever you go and carrying that. And that's why I was telling them first impression is everything. Like,
But kids, and again, I get it, because they don't understand like a lot of this stuff, right? They don't realize a lot of this stuff work hand in hand, and there's a balance to everything, right? It's like going back to what you just said about God gives you free will, right? Yeah, you can sit here and it's kind of like that movie with Jim Carrey. Oh my God, the when him and Morgan Freeman.
dang, something Almighty.
Almighty, yeah, Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, so I love that movie.
Yeah.
Because like that line when he talks to the wife, or even like not was it Bruce? No, it wasn't. They got Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty. Evan Almighty. Okay. With Morgan Freeman when he was in the cafe talking to the wife. Mm-hmm. And she was talking about, oh yeah, he's doing all this and God told him this and blah blah. And Morgan Freeman was like, well, God, gives you choices. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's free will. Mm-hmm. Like you can sit here and pray to God all day long, but if you don't do the work, it's not gonna happen. Like if you're constantly praying for patience, God is gonna continue to put you in situations until you learn patience. Yeah. That's why people never have patience about anything. Mm. He's gonna continue to put you in all these situations until you learn whatever it is that you're trying to learn. He just doesn't give it to you. Like you have to do the work. But kids don't understand that. They don't understand that, things stay with you. They don't understand time. As a kid, because I know I did it. Oh, I don't care about school. I'm young. I got all time in the world to do what I want, mess up, have fun. I'll figure that out later.
Oh my God.
Right?
That's a big one.
They don't. One, no one is promised tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Two, time flies by before you even know it. Man. And then you trying to catch up. Like that's the hardest part, trying to catch up. And that's why I be trying to tell a few of these boys that we be talking to is like, don't get too far behind.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Don't get too far behind, boy.
Like you said, like time flies. Like this year is my 10th year out of high school. So it's like when I realized that, I was like, man, it's been 10 years. That's so crazy. Like,
yeah, time flies by and you got to figure it out now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they don't understand all that. Mm-hmm. So it's and that's why I try to get kids to like really listen, and try to get them to understand. And that's why I look for the ones that really want to learn, the ones that sit there and really pay attention and listen to you. I get it that they're not going to comprehend everything I'm saying right now, but if they show me any type of signs that they're paying attention, they're taking it in, then I know it's going to sound wrong. Those are the kids I want to work with. I'm not saying I don't want to work with the other ones. Kids, yeah. But the other ones, it just goes back to what we're just saying. Okay, cool. You're making a choice not to learn right now. There's nothing else I can do. Until you figure it out, until you want to change, until you want to start making the right decisions, I can sit here and talk to you all day long till I'm blue in the face. Nothing's going to change. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean by I'm not giving up on you. I'm just waiting for you to catch up.
Yeah.
And until you catch up, I'm right here. Mm-hmm. But let me know when you're ready.
And it's funny that you said that. That's the way God is with us.
Right. Right.
I'm right here.
I'm right here. Let me know when you're ready.
I haven't left, but you sometimes you have to walk through that to understand. You know? So yeah, it's crazy.
And God's gonna continue to let you do whatever you want until you figure it out. And then once you're ready, He's like, okay, cool, you ready? I'm still here.
Open arms.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Adults don't even know that yet.
Oh, for sure.
So that's why, like, with me, I got patience with everybody, but I'm just like, okay, cool. You're not ready? I'm here when you're ready. Most people don't look good. Anyway, back to you. Back to Trenton, Washington. The one thing I noticed about you, and I respect about you, is your, oh my God, what's the word for it? You have manners and respect for everybody that you come across. And I'm pretty sure you got that from your mom and being in a house with both parents, and you said you're the baby of 2 kids, so you have 2 older sisters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mom was she was very big on that. You know, like respecting other people's space, property, being respectful to my elders. Mm-hmm. She was very big on that. My mom was the tough love type of woman. Mm-hmm. You know, she was very straightforward. She didn't sugarcoat nothing. Still to this day,
I love moms like that.
That's my mom.
Right?
Like when I say conversations that I may not be prepared for in the moment, she's coming head first. Like, hey, let's talk about talk about this, or she gonna like let you know.
Right.
And that's who she is. That's how she's always been. Mm-hmm. So I would say my mom and my dad, like, they both played a big part in that. Like, when you get in here, she was, don't embarrass me. Right. You know, or if we was in the store, acting a certain way, she'll straighten us up right then and there. Like then, like I said, I've gotten in trouble. She was working at a school, and I went to the school that she was working at, and I got in trouble. And she pulled me in front of the classroom and whipped me out.
Wow.
Like my mom didn't play.
So did that? Because I know you played ball after school, after high school. You went on to play college, and you played overseas, right? Did all that? Did you have any adversities like going through all that?
Oh yeah,
Because it's not easy.
yeah.
And my point to it, and what I want to hear is that because a lot of kids, again, going back to they think they have time. They think that, oh, when I get to high school, I'll figure it out. I'll start behaving then, and then I'll go off and play ball. Because you hear a lot of them want to play football, basketball. But talk about like that journey. Like, what was it like? And that it's not easy.
Okay. Well, I'll start since I was a kid. Like since I was a kid, I wasn't, how can I say, always the best player on the team.
Right.
You know, so there was some things I had to put more work into and do. And even in high school, I wasn't the best player. I didn't even play varsity until my senior year. You know, so for the most part, I had to face a lot of those challenges. You know, trying to, you know, work my way into either the starting lineup or the 8. You know, also dealing with hard-nosed coaching. Because high school was the first time I ever experienced hard-nosed coaching. The way my coach was, he was old school. So he like another tough love situation. Like he like, hey, you either get it done or you sit down. Like you mess up, next person up. Like that's how he was. And he like digging in you on the bench, let you have it, and you got to deal with that. And, you know, as a kid, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking stuff the wrong way. I don't really want to, you know, it's going in one ear and out the other. And I'm just kind of like, I used to give him this look. Like, I used to just look at him like that. And he used to always be like, I ain't going to say what he said, but he like, stop looking at me like that. You know, like, stop looking at me like that. And I used to always give him this look. And, like, basketball is a mental game. Right, yeah. So when you're playing and it's like, I came into a space. This is, like, one of the things as far as adversity. I came into a space where I was playing so hard not to mess up that I messed up. Right. You know? Okay. So I would get in, I'm like nervous, trying not to, you know, dribble the ball out of bounds, make a bad pass because I know if I do this, I'm not going to be able to play for a while. You know, like, so that's where. You was in your head too much. You know what I'm saying? All the time, like every day at practice, at games. So I was faced with that early on. So as time went on and I graduated, going into college, for a year and a half, I wasn't playing. I wasn't even in school. Like, I wasn't playing. Like, I tried to go off to school, but started partying, doing other things. So it wasn't until I was in Tyler, Texas, and I came across this, called it a prep school team for college. They invited, I went to this workout, like I was hooping at this workout, and one of the dudes, his name Corey, he was like, hey, yes, this coach, they got this team. They play at this community college on this day. Why don't y'all pull up and see? So I was like, all right. At first I was like, I'm probably not going to go, you know. So then I ended up going anyway. And it was like an hour from where I was anyway. So I went and I ended up playing with them. They just gave me a jersey. We started playing. And then after that, the coach was like, yeah, I like how you play. Like, you want to play with us? And I was like, cool. So after that, we started playing different JUCOs and different, you know, community colleges and stuff like that. And that's where I ended up getting recruited to Cedar Valley College. Okay. You know, and that's how I got on. That started my college journey right there. So I ended up going there, and I played there for a semester, actually, because prior to that, like I said, I was partying, doing stuff, so I wasn't really focused on school. That's where I messed up at. Like the school part, I wasn't really trying to whatever. I'm just trying to hoop. Right. Like that was my mindset. And that's most athletes' mindset. Yeah. I'm just trying to hoop. You know, women, have fun. That's what I'm here for. You know, so that's where that first semester I had to sit out. You know, I had to sit out because grades wasn't there, nothing was in place. So I had to get myself together in order to play for the next year. So that next semester I was able to play, and I only played one semester there.
So what got you together? Though? Like, what was it? Was it a time? Was it a something that just clicked?
Coach. Yeah, the coach was kind of on me, like, hey, like, we wanted you here to do something. Like, we got a nice team, and we did have a nice team. We had great players. Like, he was like, hey, like, you gotta kind of straighten up, and get this done. So I had to do what I had to do in class to get what I needed.
Did it take multiple conversations from him, or was it one conversation?
It was one conversation because, like, I had to sit on the bench and watch them play.
Okay.
And, like, that feeling alone was just like,
yeah, like that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, like, I should be out there right now. And it's the thought process of your supporters, family members, friends wanting to see you play. And it's like, okay, I'm here, but I'm not really doing anything.
Right.
Because it's like, I practiced, I played in the preseason, but my grade's not good enough, so I got to sit out a half a season.
Right.
And then it's like the what if, like, okay, what if I don't do good in the classroom now and I don't get an opportunity to play the next semester?
Right.
Then what? You wasted time, wasted coach's time. And the way college works, a lot of kids don't understand, even on the JUCO level, it's the next man up. That's sports, period. Right. And that's why I try to tell those kids, like, it's the next man up. If you don't get the job done, there's somebody else that'll come right here, probably better.
Right. They don't. I mean, they care, but they don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, cool. It's kind of like what I'm saying, right? Is cool. That's your choice. If you're making that choice not to get together and you don't want to play, cool. Like you said, next man up. Let's go. I'm looking for that player, that student that wants to get the job done.
So that's exactly what it was. So I was able to play. I was fortunate enough to play the next semester. Okay. And we played really well. I mean, we lost the first round of the playoffs, but we was pretty much a good team. And that's where I was able to get recruited to Western Christian University in Oklahoma. So when I got out there, it was kind of the similar situation. These distractions. I allowed myself to get distracted. I started, again, partying, women, not taking things serious in the classroom. And that coach was on me too. He was another hard-nosed coach. So he was kind of like, he would question me every day. Every time I saw him, how you doing in class? He knew already. Right. And I'm over here like, oh yeah, I'm okay. Like, of course he the coach. He knew already. Yeah. Like, and he asked me like, how you doing in class? How you doing in class? How's class going? And that first semester, that first year, I didn't even play because of that.
Wow. So a whole year you didn't play?
A whole year I didn't play. And then he ended up leaving, and then they ended up bringing a new coach in. So I'm pretty sure I wasn't even on the radar for that new coach. Because, of course, a new coach, he has his people. But the coach remembered me because prior to that, I worked out for another school that was in that area. And he was the coach that was doing the workout for me. So I think he was the assistant coach at the time. And he became the head coach at the school that I was at. So that's how that kind of happened, and I was able to still stay. Because, so he was familiar with me when I got there. Right. But, again, he had his people. And, like, walking in the first day, open gym, about like 20, almost 20 people.
So you had to earn your spot.
Oh, yeah. You had to.
And you knew that.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, that's – even if you're recruited, like, if they say that you're the guy, like, you're not necessarily the guy. Yeah. It's whoever gets the job done.
Yeah.
This is who, like, sports. Like, like, you can be the top recruiter, whatever, but if it's a dude that's, like, gunning for you and he got it, give it. You know what I'm saying? So, but
it's a business.
Yeah. So going in there, like I said, I had to work my way starting in the classroom. So that's where it really started. I had to kind of get myself together. But it's not a situation where I got it together. This is like a situation, like I said, some of those kids got to bump their head. I was one of those kids. So I would say that first semester I didn't play. I didn't get to play until the next semester after. So that's where, but I wasn't playing as often because by that time on that level, he already had his rotation. So I was kind of in and out, in and out. And then the next year, I came back, and that's when everything kind of went downhill for me as far as, like, college ball. Because, again, classroom, again, like, distractions picked up, started partying some more, drinking, smoking, women, everything.
Right.
You know, just doing whatever, being so careless to the point where I was even showing up to practice medicated. I was so serious. Like, it was that bad, you know. But the whole time, I realize now that I was in like some sort of depression because things weren't going the way that I thought they would go, but not realizing you're causing this in the first place, you know, at that time. And I'm like 20, 21, 22. So I'm not grasping the fact that, hey, like, dude, you're doing this to yourself. You know, you're making these decisions. You keep putting yourself in these positions, and you're over here every time is something. It's like, just get right. And I would tell myself that, but I would never get right. I'm still, like I said, like, doing the most, you know, everything that I can. That's where, like I said, it was always, for a long time, it was always pleasure before business instead of business before pleasure. That was my situation. So, so leading up to the time that that was coming to an end, my last year, because like I said, I started playing kind of late. So my last year was like 2021. Okay. And that last year, it was still the same situation. So I wasn't even able to play. You know? So after that summer, I'm coming back to Dallas, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? You know, like, I'm not sure about which route do I go. I ended up getting a job at the airport, and I ended up getting a job working at a warehouse for a while. And that's when I came across this program called CYM, Creating Young Minds. Yeah. One of my friends went there first, and it's like this developmental program. They develop like young basketball players, like athletes. They kind of teach them professionalism. So they'll teach you how to dress properly, how to walk in the room, how to talk, how to carry yourself, everything professionally. Like, they do that, and they train you in basketball. It's a nonprofit organization based out of Louisville, Texas. Shout out to CYM. But so that's when I came into a practice one day, and like, I didn't know what it was for. You know, I'm just like, okay, you know, you want us to come play, whatever, cool, I'll come play. And I was also introduced by it because the first prep school program that I was playing with, the coach knew the other coach. So that's another reason how I got connected to that. So this is my second chance, pretty much, to continue to play. So I walk in there, I'm seeing how they are, and I'm meeting a hard-nosed coach. You know, and he's like, I'm not here to be your friend. If you don't like how I run this program, there's the door right there. Right. That's how he is, Coach Matt. Shout out Coach Matt. But that's how he is. He always been that way. Right. And he's still this way to this day. Nothing's changed. But yeah, like, he's like, hey, like, you're here to grow, mature. Like, if you had it together, you would not be here. And that's what he would tell us. Like, if you had it together, if you knew everything, you wouldn't be here. You'd be here, right. So it was through that program where I started to develop those habits of what it means to, you know, be a pro. You know, what it means to have a work ethic, what it means to put in work on and off the court. Because they had us, like, working in the community, doing things for the community. We'll do, like, these little fundraiser things. Right. So we'll, like, have our games at this high school, so we'll invite people in the neighborhood to come and watch us play, and, you know, and build that rapport with all these kids and other people. And we'll walk into places, and he'll have us talking to people. We'll practice, like, doing interviews. Like, it's a real big program. He also has, you know who Jason Maxill is? You heard of him? Play for the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, he also comes to the program and helps develop some of the big men. So yeah, it's a lot, like, going on with that program right now. They're still going, they're still growing. So yeah, that's where I started to develop the discipline. And their motto is commitment, consistency, and discipline. That's what they preach. So you get in there, and this is, like I said, where I learned how to be a pro, because we'll show up at the gym probably like 9 in the morning. I ain't leave that gym till like 5:30. Oh, wow. So you in there working the whole time. You either lifting weights, you on the court, right? You whatever type of workout he's putting you through, and he gonna kill you, and he's testing you to see if you gonna come back. Like,
I like that. It's kind of like he's tearing you down and rebuilding you.
that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's tearing you down. He's getting rid of all those bad habits and, you know, building you up. Then it's like, okay, now I can put you on this platform.
Right.
And now you show all of that.
Right.
You know, and that's exactly what he was doing. So, and he does that to a lot of people. I've seen people get like mentally like broken because they didn't know what to do. They never experienced that thing. They never seen that. And like, it kind of all correlates because like I said, my mom, high school coach, then my first college like coach, and then bam, you know. So it's like, in a way, I recognized how I was being prepared for that specific moment because I was able to receive what he was saying a lot better when I got in that space, you know, prior to that. But even then, when I came into that space, I was still dabbling in, you know, everything in the world. Like, you know, like I said, still trying to party, still trying to have fun. But I was learning the hard way because I would go do that on the weekend or whatever when we have a free weekend and I get to practice. I'm like, sheesh, like I'm dying. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, you know, and like he knew, you know, he would never say nothing, but he knew. You know, he knew what you was getting into, he knew what you was doing. So that was through that program, I started to learn and build and develop more skills, and that's how we was able to go to Puerto Rico first.
Okay.
Mexico first. And I was able to, it was through that program.
Okay.
I was able to touch base in Mexico, play out there. And it was an amazing experience. Like, it was kind of scary because we was in Juarez.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of scary. And then through that's when Puerto Rico came.
Okay.
And we went to Puerto Rico, and we was out there for a while, and it was amazing. That's a whole nother, I've never, you know, traveled.
Yeah.
So it was through that where I kind of got my second chance to, you know, play the sport still outside of college,
Right.
and get the opportunities that I never thought I would actually get, you know, because like I said, I didn't even touch varsity till high school, and I didn't play much at the time. But so through that program, they, like I said, they build, just build you up, you know, teach you how to be professional, teach you how to talk to people.
So let me ask you this, because I know you're a Christian guy. You grew up in a faith-based home, right? During all that high school, college, going through all that, partying and all that, would you have considered yourself a Christian back then, or did you have to like really, like where did that come in? So like, where you really start trusting in God and start like really like buckling down, like, okay, you know what?
To be honest with you, me actually taking this, trying to take it serious myself, didn't start till I was about 26.
Okay.
26. So 2 years ago, honestly.
No, and that's fair. And I asked you that because like I grew up Catholic, right? So when I was in elementary, I think I went to a Catholic school. You know, I was an altar boy. I did the whole thing. But then somewhere along the line, I think when I started entertainment, you know, I kind of lost all that. Not to say I didn't believe in God, but I just wasn't like into it. Yeah. Like, you know, like I am now, right? And it wasn't until I want to say 3-4 years ago. And I really like started understanding him, like building my relationship back with him, and like really having a relationship. Like I think my whole life I've always had a relationship because I've always believed in God. I always, did a little praying here and there. But I think about maybe 3-4 years ago is when I like really started building my relationship with him.
See, that like back then, I just knew him. I didn't know, I didn't like really have that relationship. I knew what I was taught growing up. Right. Like I was that kid that would fall asleep in church. You know, I'll go to church, I'm knocked out, my mom waking me up. Like I was that kid. So I knew what I knew based off, what I was taught at the time. And like my dad, he does it till this day. We would do Wednesday night Bible study. Like we'll gather around the table and we'll read the Bible and we'll kind of just discuss what we read. And he does that till this day with my nieces now. So, like that was always in me. Right. But when I got older, I was like, man, I'm trying to get away from that. I'm trying to go do this. But at the same time, being from that, I still tried to say, hey, yeah, I'm still Christian, even though I wasn't living nothing like it. You know, not even an inch. Yeah. So yeah, I would say it came to a point where I was about where I really started taking it serious. Yeah, like I said, 26. Okay. But the moment kind of hit me when I would say 25, like when it really started to like, okay, weigh heavy on my heart, because I was high, and I was actually in some girl's crib, you know, sitting on her couch, literally high, and it was just, I felt this pull on my heart to where it's like, man, look, if you don't change, you're gonna die. Mm-hmm. The route that you was going, like, you're going to die. Like, if you don't fix this about yourself, if you don't stop messing around with multiple people, playing with people's feelings, doing all of these things that you were involved in, like, you're going to die. Right. You know? And like, and I don't know if it meant like spiritually or like, you know, physically at the time, but I just knew, because I always had this fear of being like some people that I know that, you know, are like not doing anything, you know, like just kind of lollygagging in life, still in the same position that they were when they was 21 years old, 18 years old. And I always had that fear, or some are not here, you know. So I always had that fear for a long time, but that's when it really like kind of just hit me like, man, you got to change. So that's when I started to kind of go through this phase of like getting out of situations that I was in, started to work my way on smoking a little bit, drinking a little bit, you know, trying to get all of those things out the way. But that was also in the midst where I met the mother of my first child. Okay. Yeah. So that's when, so in that moment, I'm going to say this. I do feel like the Lord was trying to pull me into a relationship with him and him only. Yeah. But me being me, I decided to hop in another relationship. Right. You know, and like, and I'm not saying the relationship was just crazy, whatever, but that was a moment where, again, I allow myself to distract myself with something else instead of going with what he was actually trying to do, you know. And looking back, you know, in my early 20s or whatever, I always filled my life with a lot of distractions. You know, I always, like I said, the partying, the drinking, smoking, which is also why college went the way it went. Right. Which is why, you know, all of these. So being at these, like being a student mentor, is kind of like revealing so much, you know, of the path that you take.
So I was just about to, I was actually just about to bring that up, right? Like, so for me, I had, like I said earlier, I had to rebuild my relationship with him, right? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't, like I said, maybe about 3-4 years ago, I had to learn how to just give it to him. Mm-hmm. Like, I never did that before. Mm-hmm. I always hear people say that, but I truly didn't know what that meant. Like, I heard it, I kind of knew what it meant, but I really didn't know, and I was just like, I got to understand it, right? Yeah. Now I do. Mm-hmm. Now is going back to what I was saying a little while ago. Like, I give people choices. Mm-hmm. Cool. You don't want to do it? Cool. Yeah. Sure. But it's kind of like, you can't control what you can't control, right? And the things I can't control, I just give it to him. Mm-hmm. I let him do it. And over the last 3-4 years, I want to say that I think it was just one day, like I had to like really look at my life. And this was a point where I was going through depression. I was like losing everything. But I was just sitting there talking to him like, why? Like, why is this happening, right? But like I had to like really look and be like, you know what? He's been showing me he's always been there for me, right? Like through all of it. I had to like really go back and be like, damn, he did get me through that. Damn, he did get me through that. He did get me through that. Yeah. Like, and it's like when you think about it, it's like, yeah, that was all him.
Oh, for sure.
100% all him. Like, honestly, the house that I'm in right now, I probably still wouldn't have that house if it wasn't here for him. Like, like I just kept thinking about, dang, that was all him.
Speaking of that, when I was playing JUCO, matter of fact, I was 20, maybe 21. Literally, it was a night, I remember this day like vividly because it was a night where I think everybody was kind of panicking because they were saying they was running out of gas.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that when that happened. I don't know if it was happening out here or only in Texas. I don't know. But it was like everybody was kind of panicking. So all the gas stations was like filled with long lines because everybody was thinking, I guess we was running out of gas or whatever. So that day, I decided to go hang with friends, and we was chilling, doing the usual. And then that night, I went to stay with a female friend. But I had practice early that morning. She stayed almost an hour away from the school.
Right.
So I didn't get to where she was at till like maybe almost 3 a.m. So and I had to get up at like 6 to make it to practice before 8 o'clock. Cause if you just not walking in the door at 8 o'clock, practice wise, you late. You got to be on the court and ready to go. Mm-hmm. So I decided to do what I did, went out there. So on my way to practice, I'm supposed to pick up one of my teammates, and I'm like super sleepy. Before that, I called my coach, and I was like, Coach, I don't think I'm going to make it. And you know how coaches are. If you don't get here, such and such and such, whatever. So he gave me that. He chewed me out a little bit and was like, get here. I said, all right. Hung up the phone, got in the car. I'm going. On the freeway, hitting almost about 90, literally. So I'm blasting my music, and I'm cool. Like, I'm good, And then the girl ended up calling me. So when she called me, that's when everything went silent. So I was like, and I'm like, okay, talking to her for a little bit. The next thing you know, I end up falling asleep behind the wheel. Keep in mind, I'm on the far right lane. The barriers that separates the freeways when you go, I went from here all the way to that barrier and hit it. And what woke me up was my foot was still on the pedal, and like the car was just kind of still going against the car, but the car was totaled, and it just so happened nobody was on the road but a nurse, and she was like a little bit behind me,
right?
And next thing you know, like I'm kind of dazed a little bit because I'm, like it was a heavy, like real bad collision, so I just feel someone just open my door and start pulling my arm out. Are you okay? Asking me questions. And I'm kind of like, oh, shoot, like what just happened? So I get out. She was like, hey, I'm a nurse, and I'm I'm here. Are you okay? Let me, So I ended up calling my my mom, and then my dad came. And this is by the grace of God too, because, in those situations, you putting other lives in danger.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to actually probably get arrested for that.
Yeah.
So, but it just so happened one of our neighbors, he's in law enforcement, he's a sheriff. He called one of his people that he knew in that area to come to the scene, and they just totaled my car. I didn't go to jail, nothing. Went straight home, and that's why I was like, man, like when I look back, I was like, man, like the Lord really had His hand, and I was like, it's crazy to think like that whole drastic situation happened, and I still went and did what I did.
Right.
Like I still continued. Just to continue to go the route that I was on. It's so crazy.
It is crazy because we do that.
Yeah.
We do that until, like I said, until one day something clicks and we just like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's why I said sometimes it's gonna take for you to bump your head, like, to really get it. Mm-hmm. But even with how I was going back to what I was saying about when I jumped into that relationship with the mother of my child. And the reason why I say that, because like how we had a conversation the other day, like, you're a relationship guy, and I am too. But for the most part, I like to say this: I didn't give myself the luxury of being by myself. And the reason why I call it a luxury is because now that I'm married, my wife sometimes asks me questions about myself and, and trying to see certain things. And sometimes I can't answer them because I'm like, for a majority of my life, I was in and out of relationships.
Right.
In and out. So when in a relationship, you're thinking for two. If you're, being faithful in that relationship, you're thinking for two. And if you're not, you all over the place, pretty much. So in some cases, I was all over the place. In some cases, I was thinking for two. So I never really was like giving. That's why I said like my body was always there, but my thoughts was catching up. So it was to a point where when I met my wife after my relationship with the mother of my child, she was kind of the person that was kind of teaching me how to slow down when I met her. Okay. Like she's not a person that tries to rush things. She's very live in the moment, you know, process things. Me, I was always, you know, on to the next situation. Don't sit down, on to the next. So I never understood how to, you know, process thoughts, process feelings, process whatever, because I was always just moving so fast.
Right.
And when I met her, she was kind of the opposite. She was like, yeah, why don't you try to feel these feelings? Think about this. You know, think about those things and put together what made you make these decisions and all of that. And as I started to, that's when I started to realize some things. But that's where me and her relationship really started to kind of grow, because I'm like, oh, like I never, you know, done this before.
Right.
You know, and even now being out here, being in this space, like I'm away from friends, family. It's just me and her family.
Right.
You know, and I met you and a few other people. But I'm forced now to really sit and figure out Trent, which is kind of crazy. And it's like, but the reason why I do say I wish I would have gave myself the luxury of being by myself and focusing on that relationship with the Lord. So while I'm here with my wife, it won't be, like I say, sometimes a struggle to understand not only my feelings, her feelings. Because sometimes it is a struggle, you know, being a person that didn't really, you know, sit down, understand, like process things and figure out things while you have a wife and 2 children.
Right.
You know, now it's like more on your plate. So now you're thinking for everybody, you know, and it's not necessarily for yourself. Right. So I'm trying to fix and undo certain things in the process of providing for a family, protecting a family, being a father, being a husband, all of those in one. So it's like, that's why when we're dealing with these kids, I'm like trying to get them to understand, like, hey, like, take your time,
right? Slow
down, think about, why did you do this? Why did this happen? And as I'm asking them that, I'm talking to myself. Like I'm literally talking to myself. As I'm talking to them, that's why, like, sometimes I would just sit like with them and may not say anything for the time. I just kind of let them get out, whatever. And then I just ask them, like, all right, so what you thinking now? You know? And they'll kind of be like, oh, well, I feel like I really want to do this, you know? Right. And I'm like, okay, but if you do that, what do you think is going to happen? You know? Yeah. And I kind of,
And, you know, and it's crazy because, like, you're young, right? Like, I didn't figure none of this out until, oh, my God, like, when I was, like, 40-something. But, I mean, like, my first wife, I was married for 25 years, right? We had a great relationship. We're still friends to this day, and that's who I have my 2 kids with. And we didn't, like, for me, I don't know if I want to say I was selfish, but I was in entertainment. So I was just out thinking I'm the shit. I'm in entertainment. I'm going to all the party. I know a bunch of hanging out with celebrities and just wilding out, not knowing, like, where I messed up is by me hanging around all these people that got all this money and their shit together and their life together and their career together and all that. I didn't. It was all a facade. Like, I thought I had a lot of money. I thought I had my career together. I thought I had everything together. And I didn't. Because I was living someone else's dream. Like, I was living through everybody I was hanging around, thinking I'm like them. And I wasn't. And because I was there, my life wasn't together. Like, yeah, I had a great career, but I didn't have the money that I thought. I didn't have the money like them. I thought I did, but that wasn't, like, real money. Like, I thought I did, and everything just crashed on me when I got married through my second wife. And that's where God showed me, like, hey, you wilding out. Like, you need to slow down. And he put me through it. And that's when everything just went downhill for me. But now it's like what you're just saying, like, I see you at, like, because you're young, right? So working with the kids now, you kind of are talking to yourself, right? It's kind of reminding you of what you was, right? But also it's preparing you for now your son. So it's kind of doing 2 things for you. And I can see it.
And I was thinking about that the other day because I was like, you know, I know I was blessed with 2 beautiful sons.
Yeah.
To not only teach them how to be a man, but teach myself like how to be a man, how to become a man.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying my father didn't do his job. My father was amazing. But it's like putting me in a place where, like, okay, now it's teaching you how to mature and step up for real. Not only just physically, spiritually as well. And it's like, dealing with the kids, being there is teaching me, how to not ignore the little things.
Right.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, because, all right, I'm gonna go back. Speaking of my dad, like I said, my dad was amazing.
Right.
But of course, parents, they're learning. We're learning every day. Yeah. So it was one time, like I said, I was a liar, manipulated, did all of those things. So I remember one time when I was older, he told me, I remember the day that you started lying and I didn't say anything.
That's crazy.
So he was like, and I wish I would have said something right then and there, but I didn't. And when he said that, I started to think, like, dang, like, what if he would have said something?
Yeah.
How things would have went further down the line. You see what I'm saying? So when I see these kids and they do something, and it's like, if I, like, in my head, I'm like, if I don't say anything, like, what does that do for their future? Right. Not only that, like, what does that do for them when they're involved with somebody else, or in their job or whatever? And that's where, like, I was actually thinking about this earlier before I came. It was like, man, like, I did have a moment where I was like, when I was in the midst of doing what I was doing, I did wish my dad would have said more. Even if I didn't listen, just say more, because I found myself in places where it's like, man, I'm drowning, right? And like, in some ways, mama can only say so much, especially to a male child. When dad says something, most of the time it sticks, right? Mom, some things stick, some things go one out the other. No, but even if I wasn't going to listen, just continue to speak and just, say like what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Because now when I got in that space, it was like, man, like, I'm making these decisions, heinous decisions, just flying off the rim. Right. And it's like, man, like, Dad, like, tell me, where do I go from here? And in some cases when we had conversations, he would, but in some cases you would see it and he just, didn't say anything. And I did fall into that little victim mindset where I was like, man, like, started, well, why he didn't say anything, this, that, and the other. And it was like, well, you made those decisions, which just goes back to there's a good consequence, there's a bad consequence. The Lord gives us free will. But yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I was thinking about this today and even yesterday. As mentors now, because we're mentors, do you feel, because what you said kind of just sparked something in my head. I didn't have my dad with me, right? And growing up, raising 2 kids, as any kid, it is different. Like, no one can teach you how to be a dad. Like, you have to learn that from experience. This is what I believe, because my father wasn't there, my mom wasn't there. My grandma did the best she can to raise a man in South Central LA, but it was difficult and it was hard. So I was on my own since I was 14, and I was homeless at the time. But do you feel like, as a mentor now, because obviously we have rules and policies we have to follow, right? Do you feel like that's holding you back from saying certain things to these kids? Because sometimes I be wanting to, like, really sit down with certain kids, but then I'll be like, damn, can I really say that? Yeah. You know what I mean? 100%. Because when I was young, like, the streets raised me 100%. It was like I'm the baby of 7 kids. So one of my oldest sisters, she was just a straight, she was gangbanger, and she was in party gangs, and she her homies raised me, the male homies, but they taught me a lot. Like, they knew I shouldn't have been in gangs. and they always protected me, but they taught me a lot. But a lot of things that they was telling me and saying me, like just showing me, like I can't do that in the schools, right? But it was something that I needed though, and it kept me out of a lot of trouble. Yeah. And I feel like now, like I feel like sometimes my hands are tied, and I'm like, man, some of these kids, because these kids, like where we at now, like it is the what's the word I want to use? Like it's the neighborhoods that they're in. Like they're
environments,
tough. The environment, yeah, it is. It's what I grew up in.
Yeah, same.
And I know that a lot of these things that the district and the school are teaching them, and trying to help them, and I'm not knocking them because they're doing what they can within their guidelines. But I feel like they need more.
So much more.
Right? Yeah, because.
Yeah,
I mean, talk about that because I feel like you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I totally get that because like it's like I said, there's some kids that need that extra push for them to understand. But yeah, it does feel like you're restricted in some ways because it's like, man, like I know what I really want to say right now,
right?
But I'm risking my job. I'm risking my job.
Right, but they need that though. I feel like there's a handful of kids. At our school, they really need that. They really need like
the real,
the real
for sure.
Because again, we are restricted, and I get it. And I'm not knocking our company. I'm not knocking the school district because they have guidelines, and it's a legal thing. I like the business aspect of it because I've been a business person for many years, so I get the legal aspect of it. And people always want to sue, right? But at the same time, I be like, you know what? I need to help this kid. Man. So, F your policy. I'm going to say this.
I'm going to let them know because that's the only way they're going to comprehend.
Yeah.
Like I said, thank God for my mom and those hard-nosed coaches because, like, that's kind of what instills that, okay, I get it now, And for them, start doing things by the book, they're not going to get that. Get it now. They're going to be like, okay, whatever. Yeah. Goes in one ear and out the other. You just here for a check.
Right.
It's like, no, I really want to say this to show you I'm not here for a check.
Right.
I'm here to help you. Yeah. Help cultivate your thought process, your way, the way of doing things. Like, I'm here for you. Like, I'm not just coming here because, they pay me good.
Right. No. And that's why sometimes, like last year, I was able to meet a couple of the kids' parents. Like, I feel like between our company and the district, they don't want us to talk to the parents.
Probably so.
Again, I get it from the business side, the legal aspect of it, whatever. But I feel like if I was able to sit down with the parents and like we have an agreement, I think things will get done.
Things will get in place,
right,
for sure. But so I would say because of the restrictions and everything, that's why part of me sometimes feel like it is important to put kids in sports.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's where they can build that rapport, that brotherhood, that understanding, especially like young boys that are active and really want, have that aggression, they can let it out somewhere. Yeah. Because you see the kids around the school, they have a lot of energy, that's why when we play football with them, do all of those 100%. Things, they love doing that because like it's so much build up.
It's so much, and everybody knows there's so much life experiences in sports. Yeah. Like you learn so much by being on a team.
Being on a team, you build long-time friends, like friends from high school, college, and the program CYM that I'm close with to this day, and like they like brothers. Like they can call me at any time, I can call them at any time. And I think that's what is going to help instill that discipline. Yeah, because. Like how we talk about, like, that's something that kind of hangs over their head, the fun, like the football or the basketball. So it's like, if I don't straighten up, I'm not going to have this. And I also try to tell them, now, it's a lot different for y'all. Yeah. Because in sports, now they're getting NIL deals in high school. So,
what do you think, do you have any ideas, like, that can help us, like get to these kids without the restrictions and all that? That would help. Besides sports.
I would say, and this is off the top right now because I've been thinking about it, but I haven't really came to a full conclusion. But I would say just maybe doing like maybe a fundraiser event outside of the school and everything. Like try to get the parents involved, do like a fundraiser event, and have people come and like talk to them. You know, have the kids kind of go out in the community and bring people, make food. It's kind of like a little gathering, but this is an opportunity for kids to listen to people that's been there, in their been in their position and been where they're trying to go. Also, I would say give them an opportunity to open the floor for them because a lot of those kids, they want to be heard.
Okay, so that's what I've been trying to do, and I've been trying to do that for a couple of years now. It's like give them a voice, even like a podcast voice. And me and Meza talked about that because he actually have an idea for it as well. We just haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
but I want them to have a voice.
Yeah, like I feel like putting them in that space will activate more, more maturity, more understanding. Like, and like I said, a voice to be heard because a lot of these kids, when they're acting out, we know it's not to the 10. They want the attention.
Right.
They want to be seen. I need, like, I have these feelings. I don't know what to do with them. This is the best way I can get them out and get your attention to know that I'm feeling this way. But you put them on a, like you said, podcast, or like I said, doing a fundraiser event to where they can talk to people and, the people that they may look up to or want to, like, I feel like that'll help them, like, okay, cool, like, I'm a part of something.
Right.
I'm doing something. Because that's also, young kids, you want to be a part of something.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be, like, you want to feel included. You want to feel involved. So.
I feel like if they can see, like, even as a teenager, when I was able to see what I was capable of, that's when a spark hit my brain. It was like, oh, dang, I did that.
Yeah.
So if we can create something that can show like their skills, their talents or something, and they can see it. Because remember, sometimes a lot of things are just in our heads. But if you can actually see it, like touch it, feel it, smell it, like it's now reality. And it's like, oh, wow, I did that.
Yeah.
Now you have something, now that they have a starting point where they can build. And I think that's what it is. These kids need a starting point.
Yeah.
Because right now, they don't have a starting point.
They don't.
If we can create something to where they have a starting point, now you start from here. You see what you can do. You saw what you can do. Now build on that. I think that's the answer. I don't know.
I think that's perfect. Like I said, I'm still kind of figuring that out because I have been thinking about that. Like, what is it? Because like I said, through my wife, that's what gave that spark for me.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, like, just try this, see what you get out of it. And when I saw what I could get out of certain things, that's when I was like, oh, I can do this. Because things do seem so far-fetched when it's in your head.
It is.
It's like, man, like, you doing a podcast. Some people think, like, man, like, you got to do all this to get a podcast. And it's like, no, you just get a nice little, you start at home.
You can start on your phone.
Pick up a mic, whatever, and just start recording and start talking about something. But, so I think, like, trying to just figure out how to create the atmosphere and give them an opportunity. I feel like that will take them way further than just kind of lecturing them and just giving them rules to follow. I think that would be amazing. So hopefully we can come up with something like that.
I think we can. It's just, again, it's just keeping the conversation going and keep talking about it. It's something there. But before we go, I want to talk about your Holy Threads.
Oh, yes, sir.
Because I don't want to miss that. What is Holy Threads?
Holy Threads, well, yeah, it's a clothing brand, but it also stems from, like I said, my walk with Christ. And it's a way that I can, put my beliefs and, why I'm living life to the forefront, and wear it, and kind of express, like, my feelings on it. Like, I'm proud to say that I'm a Christian. I'm proud to say that Jesus loves me and he saved me from a life of, chaotic things. So me creating, I was actually sitting in my room listening to a song, and I heard them say something about holy fashion, and I was like, wow, and I thought about, putting on the full armor of God. So then I was like, and that's when I came up with holy threads, and I was like, yeah, so it's a way to express yourself. It's a way to, show people, like your faith and like be proud about that. So that's where holy threads stem from, and like I said, I had to pause it for a second because there was some complications going on with my wife at the time. She was pregnant, but I'm gearing it back up. So yeah, holy threads. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, but the logo has a T, like a cross, but it's like a HT all together. So yeah, that's the logo for holy threads, and yeah, right now it's just a push to bring people to Christ, because there's a lot of people that has like these I say bizarre styles and things that they want to keep. They want to express themselves in a Christian algorithm, but don't know how. And I was like, this is one of the ways you can do it.
I love that. I love the name.
Holy
I can't.
threads.
Yeah, I love the name. The name is dope. The logo is dope. I can't wait to see what you're gonna do with it.
You'll see soon.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
Oh yeah, I have this black and white one. I also have this brown and white one. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
And then I have a few more colorways coming out. And
Are you just gonna stick with the two colors, like?
For now, starting out, yeah.
Okay.
And then eventually, I'm just gonna add on and build, as time goes on.
Okay.
But yeah, actually, it's Holy Threads is also like a spark that came from what you were just talking about, like how like somebody has to kind of give you that starting point, and then you go, and then when you see it, it's kind of like, and like I said, that was my wife.
Right.
When I came up with the idea of Holy Threads, I was talking to her about it. She was like, yeah, just do it.
So let me ask you this question, because I'm a firm and true believer. God gave everybody a gift.
For sure.
Most people to this day, even adults, have not found their gift. I believe I know what my purpose is. I believe I found my gift. Have you?
Honestly, now I'm starting to think that helping people.
Okay.
Because over time, I've started to notice how, like, a lot of people are actually watching the things that I do.
Right.
And I didn't know that for a long time. But I sometimes I randomly get messages from old friends. Man, like, when I got married, man, I see that you getting married. I see what you're doing. Even friends that I grew up with or my day ones kind of have comments and they say what they say. And I've always had the desire to want to help people.
Right.
See somebody on the street. If I got something, I'll give it to you, or if you need something, I'll buy it from you. But and buy it for you. But yeah, like being a helping hand. Like I really think that's like one of the gifts that the Lord has blessed me with. Too.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you that.
And that's why I feel like me being a student mentor is kind of like, hey, this is where you're supposed to be right now. Like,
no, I feel that, and I can see it. I can see it in you. You care, and I really believe, like, I really believe God puts us in situations for a reason. Even all the things that we've been through, like I said, free will. He let us do that, but at the same time, now He's like, okay, cool. You went through all that. Now take that and use it.
Yeah.
Right, and I can see that. I can see it in me. I get messages like that all the time. People that I ain't talked to in years. They be sending me little messages, be like, "Hey, Mike, I see what you're doing. Keep doing it." They said you found your gift. I see that in you. I could definitely see that in you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, and that's why, like again, my wife, she see those messages, and she be like, see, like she was always that person. Like, see, you got people watching you.
Right.
Like even in times where I feel like, dang, I'm not getting anything done. I need to, and she was always that person that was like, look, like this person didn't see you that message for no reason. Like it's not a coincidence that you're at the job that you're at right now. Like it's not, like all of those things, it's like it kind of starts to come together and it's like, oh, okay, now I see.
Yeah.
Now I understand. When we talked about the college situation, and that's why, like I said, I talk to these kids when they want to play sports. I'm like, dude, like my story, early part of my story was like early 20s was full of distractions.
Right.
You know, like, and I'm trying to teach them and learn like how to learn from that part of that story. Like, and I always have to remind myself, you're only 28. You got so much more to go. Yeah. But being that was the case, I always found myself feeling like regretful about the decisions that I made. You know, and I had to struggle. I struggled with that for a long time. The regret, the shame of those decisions. And
you know what? Because someone asked me on one of my shows, they asked would I do things differently. It's kind of, I kind of want to say no. Like, I don't like to live my life with regret because everything that I've been through, all the decisions that I made me who I am today. Right. I would like to think that if I had to redo it over, I would have made better decisions. But I'm not mad at anything that I went through because it made me who I am. Yeah. So
see, and that's why being in this space now with these kids is kind of healing that. Yeah. Like, you know, like, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't regret that because these life lessons that you have to go through, you're able to teach them. And my wife always would say, she was actually seeing it before I was seeing it. She was like, dude, like, you're supposed to be helping people. Yeah. Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. I see you do this stuff all the time. 100%. When we were dating and I came out here for like the second time, I think, it was this man. This is also what sparked the Holy Thread situation as well. It was this man, homeless guy. We was going to get some food. I was getting out the car to go pay for some food, and the dude stopped me, and he was like, hey, are you able to give me something? I was like, yeah, come on, you know. Went in there, asked him what he wanted, paid for his food, came back outside, and he was like, hey, do you got a minute? I want to read you something. I said, yeah, cool. Turns out this man has, like, been in and out of jail, I think 3 times. The first, I can't remember the full story of what happened with him, but he was at the wrong place, wrong time. Right. So he ended up having to defend himself, and he ended up beating the situation.
That's crazy.
And then the second time, I think somebody lied on him, and he had to defend himself again and ended up beating the situation. So the third time, I can't remember exactly how it went, but I know he ended up beating that again, but he still represented himself. And he was crazy. Like, he was telling me he was writing a book called, I think it's either 3 Strikes You Out or 4 Strikes You Out. I can't remember. And it was an article about it in the newspaper. He had the newspaper. He even read me the story that he written down. He had the pad and everything. And I was like, wow. You know, I was listening. I'm like, wow. And he was like, man, just thank you for giving me a time to listen. But as I was walking away, what I was picking up from that situation was, like, there's no excuse, you know? Because, like, here's a homeless guy asking me to feed him, and he's pushing, you know, his story out there to help others. It's in the newspaper. He got it published, and he was still writing, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to gearing up to go talk to some people now. This is a homeless guy.
You know, he knows his purpose.
Yeah, you know, and then I'm like, this is a homeless guy. So I'm like, imagine what you can do, and you're not even in that position right now. You know, and that's also started to teach me stop selling yourself so short.
Exactly.
You know, but that's what, like I said, being in this space is like bringing all, like when I say all of that together, it's like hitting me at once. And when I go home, I just be sitting like, man, like, okay, yeah, I get it now. You know, so 100%. Yeah.
I wish I would have learned that earlier. It took me a long time, man, unfortunately. But, good. I'm not mad at it though, again, because it made me who I am, man. I'm here today, and you know, I'm grateful for you, man. I know time's about to run out. I don't want to be late picking up Sin. But I am grateful for you, man. I'm grateful for you, grateful for Johnny, the new team that we got going on. I really believe that we have like an amazing team.
Sure.
I was nervous at first. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was nervous at first when Rick was telling me, you know, I got 2 people coming. Because I know how I am with these kids, and you know what I want to accomplish at the school, and what we all trying to accomplish. And I knew, you know, just from all the other people, like we was talking about yesterday, me, you, and Johnny, how they hired a bunch of people and had to get rid of a bunch of people. And I was like, dude, don't bring me nobody that don't want to be here. Yeah. Like I was like, I'm serious. You know how I am. I need people that want to be here, that want to help. And so I'm grateful that you and Johnny, you guys got stories. You guys are good for these kids.
Sure. Well, We are thankful for you too, though, because you model that very well for us. Like coming into the situation, you showed us the ropes, and you just kind of like, hey, this is the do's and don'ts. This is what and it's kind of like it was an easy layout, So you being our manager is like, man, like we thankful for that.
I appreciate that. I try my best, man. I don't like compliments,
You're
but
doing a good job.
Yeah, I know. I don't take people always tell me that, man. I don't feel like I've done a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've done a lot, but I still feel like I haven't done anything.
Same.
You know what I mean? I feel like I have so much more to do.
For sure.
But people always say, "Oh, Mike, you done," and I'm like, cool. Like all the accolades, like the awards I get, it's like cool. But I feel like just in the last 5 years, I found my purpose, and I'm just now scratching the surface. Like all that stuff that I did in entertainment, I'm very grateful for it. I'm very blessed. Had money, had houses, had all that stuff, right? But I feel like now I'm really contributing to life, contributing to our next generation. Yeah. Like that's what is important to me. Sure. Like all the other material stuff don't mean nothing to me. Yeah. So now that's why I tell people, like, I'm just getting started. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like and all that other stuff.
See, and that's where like me, I'm starting to practice giving myself grace.
Yeah. Well, I know, and I'm just learning that. Yeah. I'm learning that I'm giving myself grace.
That too. But like I said, that's why I always have to remind myself, dude, you're only 28. Yeah. Like you got so far to go. Give yourself grace. Right. Like we live in a microwave society, so we see a lot of people, right? Feeling like they got to be here by 21. Yeah. And it's like, dude, it don't work that way for everybody. No. And I had to learn that myself, and I'm still, still grasping that. So right. I get it. Okay. Yeah. So that's me. Anyway, thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. No thank you for coming on here. Thank you for having me. Definitely got to have you back, man, because we got a lot to talk about. Oh, for sure. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of work to do. Mm-hmm. And I think, and the reason why I keep doing these shows is because I want to continue to push the conversations. Mm-hmm. I want to continue to tell people stories. So thank you for sharing your story. I definitely want to have more conversations with you about, what we can do with these kids, because I truly believe having these conversations, one day somebody's gonna listen to it. Something's gonna click. It's planting those seeds. It's putting those seeds out there and continue to do it. So thank God, thank you, and thank you, man. Man, thank you. I appreciate it, man. All right, y'all. We out of here.